Victoria had 3 more days of courage planned. 3 more days of Vicky and the diner and Ethan's laugh in the back steps. She almost made it, but Derek Ashton had been doing his research. And Derek Ashton believed that the best way to get back into the Harlow fortune was to make himself the only safe harbor in a storm he intended to create himself.
He sent Ethan a message from a fake construction company account offering him a contract bid review at a networking event. Ethan showed up in the only blazer he owned. Slightly self-conscious, looking for a project manager who didn't exist. Instead, he found a ballroom full of wealth, and at the center of it, laughing with an ambassador, wearing a gown that cost more than 6 months of diner wages, Victoria. Ethan Caldwell, I presume she talks about you.
Well, she talked about the diner guy, didn't she, with Victoria, the Harlow group, worth somewhere north of 400 million.
She does this sometimes, slumming it for inspiration keeps her grounded, she says. Who are you? Derek Ashton, her ex, and probably her future, if she's done with her little experiment.
Ethan, please, let me explain to...
Explain which part? The name, the money, or the 7 weeks you let me call you Vicky like I was...
Everything I felt was real. Everything I said was true. The only lie was my last name.
Your last name is the whole story, Victoria. I'm a carpenter. I drive a truck that's 11 years old. I thought I was falling for a girl who's supposed to find it and laughed that they weren't funny. I thought the things that I can't...
She didn't call after him, not because she didn't want to, but because he was right. And the only thing she had ever truly believed in was the right of a person to walk away from something that had cost them more than they signed up for.
3 days of silence. Victoria sat in her real apartment and stared at the real version of her life, the art she'd bought to impress guests, the calendar full of obligations, the closet full of armor.
And she thought about a pair of jeans she'd driven herself in, about a coffee pot with a hair trigger, about someone who looked at her and saw nothing she'd built, just her. She'd gone back to the diner to return her apron and say goodbye to Marco. She didn't expect to find Ethan's truck parked outside.
I fell in love with a girl who smells like coffee.
Ethan,
I talked to Marco.
Ethan.
He told me why you left your last job. That you donated half your salary, which apparently was significant, to a children's literacy program, anonymously.
That you used to come in before opening and prep the kitchen because Marco's back was bad and you didn't want him to know you'd noticed. I drove 11 blocks out of the way every morning for 3 weeks, just hoping you'd take a different route for a cover story. A different route, so I'd run into you. That's not something you do for a cover story.
I was going to tell you I was trying to find the right way.
I know you were. I was angry, and I was wronged and not to let you try. I fell in love with a girl who smells like coffee and laughs too loud and raved Odie before. I don't care what her last name is. I just want her to come back.
And then Margaret Harlow appeared from a town car parked the corner because Margaret Harlow always arrived at punctuation at the end of other people's sentences. But this time, she didn't. She looked at Ethan Caldwell.
She didn't speak first. She stood at the mouth of the alley and she looked at Ethan Caldwell, and something in her carefully controlled face did something it almost never did. It broke.
Mother, whatever you're about to say...
Your grandfather, his name was Robert Caldwell. You have his hands.
Robert Caldwell was my grandfather.
I married your father because I was afraid. I let the right person go because the world told me he wasn't enough. Don't repeat my mistake, Victoria.
She didn't give up the Harlow name. She just stopped hiding behind it. She told Ethan everything. Every account, every board meeting, every trust fund. He listened.
The apron hung framed in their hallway. Ethan said it was a monument to the worst coffee service he'd ever received. She said it was proof that some things have to be lost before they can be found. She had $400 million and 12 rooms and a name that opened every door in the country. What she needed was a coffee pot with a hair trigger, an 11-year-old truck, and a man who chose her on a Tuesday morning with no audience and no reason except that she was her.
The right love doesn't audition for your wealth. It shows up for you. And if you're brave enough to show up as yourself, just yourself, stripped of everything impressive, the right love will find exactly what it came for.